Hi, folks, and welcome to Rewatch. We're on Season 3, Episode 3 of Dave Filoni's Clone Wars. This one's called Supply Lines. In this one, the Jedi enlist Bail Organa to assist Jar Jar Binks to go to the planet where the Tordarians are and convince them to allow the Republic to gear up and send supplies from that planet to the Twi'leks who are hurting, and there's a barricade around, a separatist barricade around that, to give them supplies to help them during the war. Now, I could have sworn in season 1 that the Troidarians were the people who Yoda had to convince to join their side in a battle of skill way back in the day, but I could be wrong. And I'm guessing that was just another alien group because I thought they were already part of the Republic. Either way, though, they're trying to be neutral in this, and they're trading with the Trade Federation. The Trade Federation says, we would consider this an act of war if you let the republics build a little base there to help them. And so he decides, after great deliberation, he decides he's not going to help the Republic. But then secretly, he makes a deal with Bail. He's like, hey, look, whatever supplies you brought with you, go. Send them to him now, but just don't get caught. And so Bail agrees. He has this plan, but Jar Jar has to run a distraction for them. So Jar Jar brings the only 2 representatives for the Trade Federation who are there. I guess there's no one else on the planet who can see all the ships, the Republic ships, taking off to break through the barricade, because Jar Jar has to entertain them. They're bored, and when Jar Jar sees the ships going by the window, he tries to do some great distraction, grabs everyone's plates and dumps all the food off, and it's supposed to be funny, but it's not, and throws them everywhere, and they just kind of, cartoonishly stack in a pile. Now, I don't mind him doing that because Jar Jar does goofy stuff like that all the time that seems to just be luck. He's like dude perfect for the Star Wars universe. Everything looks like it's by accident, but he just assembles it perfectly. And I don't mind that, but everyone's looking at it and everyone applauds. There was a funny scene where I think it's Lok Dodd is in this one, and he's not smiling at all. But his assistant's like, yay! And he looks at him to silence him like, don't do that. That's not entertaining. That was actually funny. But the whole time, Jar Jar's watching the ships go by, and every time he watches one go by, he gulps, and Lok Dodd turns around and goes, what? What was that? Why do you keep looking back? And I was like, okay. And they get the supplies to him, the end. And, of course, he finds out that they broke through the barricade, and Bail Organa goes, well, you can submit a complaint through the Senate. He goes, but the Senate will take forever. He went, well, unless you have proof. Oh, well. And that's kind of how the episode ends, with the Troidarians saying, I think I'm going to join the Republic. But, bring up by a Jedi representative for me to talk to him. And again, if it wasn't going to be a big deal if they got called, because, he said, if you have evidence, you can bring it before the Republic. Well, then why even ask? Yeah, you need the king's permission, but the king asked to make it a secret, and you didn't. Because I guess you knew they were going to find out that you broke through the barricade. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. I like that Bail Organa's in it. Jar Jar doesn't bother me. But the whole episode was like, okay, well, what was the point? Maybe he just goes on there. He doesn't want to make the king mad. So he's waiting for the king. But if the king goes, you need to do this quietly. Why doesn't Bail say, well, you know what? They're going to find out anyway. But guess what? They'll be locked up in the Senate. I understand that's supposed to be the big twist at the end. This is how they get out of it. But Bail didn't seem to have a plan to keep it secret. I don't know. Like I said, it's not a bad episode, but it just doesn't make sense. But let me know. What did you think about episode 3, Supply Lines? And I'll talk to you next time on Rewatch.